Lovely. Okay, we're good now. Yeah, we ain't even got to lay all that long because I know we got to get you on the road. So I'm going to take a second.
How long do you want to go for?
Shit.
You just want to get the picks out the way real quick?
That's fine. We can start with the picks and then...
A couple small talking points?
Yeah, it'll work. Well...
Let me drop this on Facebook.
Yeah.
Have we officially started yet?
Yeah, we're live now.
Like, people can hear us talking?
Mm-hmm. They sure can.
Cool. Dope.
Payday 3? That is a franchise I never think about.
What?
Payday, the game series.
Mm.
Never think about it. Is it fun?
Never played it. I've watched my brother-in-law play it, though. It's just like bank robbery simulator, essentially.
Oh, hell yeah. Maybe I do need to play it. I'm a fan of crime. All right. Our viewers are here. Well,
What's up?
let me go ahead and hit this motherfucking little... Ooh.
That'll do. Okay, that'll do.
That'll do, donkey. Welcome to the Game Day Breakfast, not called that anymore, podcast. Hashbrowns and Hashmarks. How are you, Spencer?
I'm delicious. How are you?
I'm all right, man. I'm going to be doing a lot better in about an hour because I'm going to be eating some Brahms. Do you know what Brahms is?
I've heard of it.
Brahms?
It's burgers, right?
Yeah. It is the Oklahoma version of Dairy Queen, essentially.
Mm.
And it is delectable. It's very, very good. 1,000 hours? Holy hell. That's a lot of time to put in any game.
No, you said 10,000 hours.
No, yeah, I misspoke. Yeah, 10,000. Good Lord, that's another zero. Well, my man, what is on your mind?
You got any ACLs I can borrow? I need to take you to the Cowboys facility.
Yeah, I hate to see that. Although, honestly, I know we've talked about this ad nauseum, but yeah, in case you didn't know, Trevon Diggs, cornerback for the Cowboys, injured, out with an ACL practice. Interesting talking.
Turf,
well,
practice,
interesting.
Legs,
ACLs. Ban injuries. They're not allowed. We'll talk about this next week because I think it's an interesting topic, but it's something Callie and I were discussing the other day. But it's a rather long, lengthy thing about like how injuries are treated in the NFL. But we'll talk about that next week. Pretty much will. But that being said, I'm not super worried about it as a Cowboys fan. I'm not. I mean, it sucks. It takes you from probably like the best defense in the league to like one of the best. I still think we're gonna be fine. Too many more pieces lost. Obviously, you're looking at it, but to me, the real sauce is Dan Quinn. I think he is what really makes everything go. Micah Parsons obviously is superhuman.
Dan Quinn was the defensive coordinator behind the Legion of Boom era of the Seattle Seahawks,
and he's not injured. Knock on wood. So I feel fine. I feel like we're in good hands. I think Dak and Mike are going to figure it out this year. I feel good. I still think it's looking like a good 12-4 type year, in my opinion. We'll see what happens.
I don't even. I have opinions. It's like you look at our schedule, right? And I think our five biggest competition games. We have a game against the 49ers.
Yeah.
We have 2 games with the Eagles, the Bills, and the Dolphins.
Mm-hmm.
Those
are going to be good games.
If the season ended today, it'd be Cowboys-Dolphins in the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm. Which would be a great game.
Best offense versus best defense.
Yeah.
So I think those are those are our 5 toughest games. And if you look at the way the Eagles have been playing, yes, it's week 2, but we all overreact to stuff watching
and
sport.
Monday night, somebody's going down. It's either going to be an Eagles player or it's going to be a Tampa Bay player because the Monday night slot has been cursed this year. We had Aaron Rodgers go down, now Nick Chubb's gone down. Who's it going to be? It better not be Baker because Baker's on a revenge tour, and I'm here for it. I don't know if you've seen some of the highlights. This man is making throws.
Yeah.
Baker Mayfield looks good this year.
Trap House Sports, Baker Mayfield, or Baker may throw a bomb down the field.
Exactly. You don't know what the hell's going to happen. So, yeah, I don't know. I think honestly, Baker just needed to find a place like home, and he might have found it in Tampa Bay. I think the team's rallying around him.
Baker Mayfield is Johnny Manziel if Johnny Manziel put in any effort.
Yeah.
They're the same person. Like they got the same ego, the same swagger.
Except Baker's bigger. You know what I mean?
Baker's bigger and cares about football and doesn't drink. He drinks, but not like that.
And potentially does not have a borderline personality disorder or something like Johnny may have. You know what I mean? Like there's some speculation about that. So, Brian says Ducks 3-0 and Chargers 0-2. Thank God it's not the other way around. Yeah, they're about to be 4-0. I have opinions about this weekend, I'm sure. In fact, that might be a good transition into the games this weekend. But we got a pretty packed college schedule this weekend.
We do. We got a lot. I put them in like a random order, but we can get to that. Probably the biggest game of the weekend. We can do that one last.
What you got? What you got for me first?
Florida State at Clemson. Number 4, Florida State at Clemson. Also, this is going to be kind of a quick show, guys, because I got
we got to get Spencer on the road. So this is a sneaky good game, honestly. This may not go the way everyone thinks it's going to go. Vegas has Florida State as a 2-point favorite, and they're going to be in Clemson. This is going to be a tough uphill battle for the Seminoles because they're the ones that got something to prove. Clemson's already lost. You know, the pressure's off a little bit.
I just think this Florida State team's for real, and I don't think Kate Klubnik is that guy. He has not played well
after watching LSU beat the tar out of Mississippi State last week. I felt like, I agree. I think Florida State is that good.
We were both very wrong about that game.
Yeah, we were. Because apparently LSU's actually good. I think it just means Florida State is that good, you know.
And if you look at the SEC right now, it's like Georgia, LSU, and just fill in the rest of it, you know.
None of the top 10 teams looked dominant last week, and every single one of them there was something suspect about them.
Alabama only beat South Florida by 2 touchdowns.
Which
17-3.
Which told me that I was right to think that Texas ain't back, and it also told me, and I said this last week, that Wyoming was going to give them trouble. They could have pulled away. They gave him trouble that whole first time.
Texas at number 3, and I'm like, because y'all didn't watch the first 3 quarters of that Wyoming.
So we'll see what happens there. But but back to Clemson and Florida State. I think Florida State wins this game, but I do think it's going to be. This is one of those games where 7-8 times out of 10 they will win this game. But it's an 11 a.m. kickoff on the road, and Clemson, as we saw last week, is still coached by a very good coach, still a very good program, won a game dominantly. Give me the Seminoles, but boy, watch out. There's a real possibility that Clemson can sneak away with it.
Also, give me the Seminoles. But I think this is going to be like that year it was Clemson and Louisville, Deshaun Watson and Lamar Jackson. This is going to come down to like the final drive.
Yeah.
It
might be whoever has the ball last time.
I think Clemson's going to be like leading by like a field goal for a while, and then Florida State's going to have to like keep playing.
Yeah.
And Florida State's definitely on upset alert. Like, you make too many mistakes in this game, Clemson will beat you.
Yeah.
But yeah, give me the Seminoles. I guess we'll do this one next. We got Auburn at Texas A&M.
Ooh, do we really? I didn't realize that was this weekend.
Alma mater. I would like to put this little tidbit of information out there. Since joining the SEC, A&M is 1-4 against Auburn in College Station.
Yeah, isn't that a weird stat?
Very weird.
I'll never forget watching.
They beat them in Auburn all the time.
Yeah,
but for whatever reason, they just can't. They can't handle. It was like that for a while in the LSU-Alabama rivalry. The road team had the lead. Mm-hmm. Like the road team won like a lot.
Yeah, I'll never forget that game in 2013 when Johnny was playing them and the game ended on a horse collar. We were all like, "Oh, it's bullshit. We should have got that down to begin with." It was a defensive issue, but I need to look at one thing before I make my pick on this game because if I'm looking at Miami, they're sitting at number 20, right? Every game they've won. Huh?
Miami.
Yeah, well, this is the only team that A&M's lost to, which of course it was their only real opponent so far. But I mean, I'm just trying to gauge how good this Miami team is because I think they are pretty good. I think offensively they're pretty solid. Yeah, this is going to be tough. Who's Auburn beat? Let's look at this. Auburn's beat Sanford, Cal, and UMass, and they barely beat Cal. You know what? I got A&M in this one, honestly. I wouldn't put it past them to blow this, but yeah, I think this is one of those years they should beat Auburn. They historically beat Auburn early as opposed to late.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Give me the Aggies 24-17.
All right.
Then next we got Arkansas at number 12 LSU. We played in Death Valley. LSU has won 10 of the last 11 meetings of this game, and I think the 6 of the last 7 in Baton Rouge. Something about this game was for a very long time stereotypically played the day after Thanksgiving. It was always played on Black Friday. And that's when Arkansas had a slight advantage in this game because you just caught a bunch of Louisiana kids the day after Thanksgiving.
Right.
They just ate a bunch of good food. They're going to be real sluggish. So, but now this game happens in September, which should change. I hope it changes next year when we get A&M and UT back. But A&M and UT on Thanksgiving, Arkansas LSU on Friday, and then the Iron Bowl on Saturday.
Yes.
That's how it needs to be. Yeah.
It's weird seeing it this time. This feels like a November game. You know what I mean?
Tigers by a lot because Arkansas just lost to BYU.
Yeah, and that's a shame, especially as high as we were on Arkansas last year. We had high hopes. Whenever they were going to go play Georgia because they were suddenly, it felt like
Sam Pitt was on the hot seat too.
Well, yeah, and so I think he's going to stay there. Give me the Tigers and like a 38-13 affair.
Yeah, I think we're going to beat the dog out of Arkansas.
A little kerfuffle down in LSU this weekend.
Yes, sir. And then we'll go.
Little kerfuffle down in the swamp.
We got number 24 Iowa at number 7 Penn State.
Iowa.
The Hawkeyes.
I can never trust Iowa. I always pick wrong on them. I'm going to pull the game up. Here we go.
Also, Daryl, would this be a bad time to tell you that our good friend Felix is a Miami fan?
Is he really?
Not really. He doesn't really pay attention to sports, but last year during March Madness, we were filling out brackets, and he kept filling out brackets. And every game he had Miami winning, and Miami kept winning. And I was like, Felix, you got to be a Hurricane fan.
Yeah, he kind of has to. I don't blame him one bit for that.
Yeah.
Nah, there's no hard feelings. Miami was a better team a couple weeks ago or whatever it was. Yeah, we got the Hawkeyes, Penn State. This would be an interesting game. Hawkeyes.
These two play some classic matchups.
Yeah, playing very good ball defensively right now. Iowa coming off of winning a rivalry game as well. Yeah, this would be an interesting game. I'm gonna take the Hawkeyes, man. I think they pull the upset here. I think they get it on the road.
I don't think the Hawkeyes have the offense. That's the only issue. I don't think they can move the ball as well as they would need to do.
Yeah.
Playing at Penn State.
That's a valid point.
I think this Penn State team is legit.
I think Penn State shits the bed every year, and this is when they're going to do it.
I don't think it'll be this game. They're going to lose to Michigan or Ohio State.
Yeah, probably. But I think they're going to lose this one too. So I'm sticking with it.
All right. Daryl.
Duck fans are all Hurricane anti-fans for Cristobal. Yeah, I feel that. Looking forward to the Oregon-Colorado game this weekend. This is going to be a lot of fun to watch.
Yes, it will be. We'll get to that one in a second. And then we got we'll do this one. We got number 22 UCLA at number 11 Utah. Pac-12 got a lot of teams in the top 25 right now.
They do, and that's about to change.
Somebody's got to lose.
Yeah.
I haven't paid attention. I don't know what UCLA has done this year. I haven't really watched anything. Obviously.
Well, the thing about Utah, it is I'm looking at the schedule. UCLA hasn't really played anybody, and Utah has, but they've beaten.
Utah beat Florida
and they beat Baylor, but then Baylor lost to Texas State. So like, what do you do with that information? This could go either way. It's going to come down to whichever team has improved the most. I mean, UCLA's won pretty dominantly so far, but again, haven't really played anybody. So this feels like a toss to me.
They're at home.
Yeah.
Flip a coin, but I'm gonna just say, give me Utah.
Give me UCLA. I just got a feeling. I don't know what to do with this information.
Daryl Bruins.
UCLA's offense is way. Give me the Bruins for sure because their offense is just way more potent. I mean, they're throwing the ball over the yard. They're running the Give me the Bruins big. Actually, I got a feeling.
Okay.
I got a feeling.
All right, and then we'll do this one. We've got the Pac-2 championship. We got number 14 Oregon State at number 21 Washington State. These two are currently members of the Pac-12, but next year they'll be in the Pac-12 by themselves if the conference doesn't get dissolved.
Well, that's insane to think about.
It is.
That fills me with dread.
I feel like every year at some point Washington State is ranked in the low 20s. They're like low in the rankings like every year at the start of the year because they play a couple good games.
Mm-hmm.
But with the exception of a few years ago when like the Apple Cup was like a ranked versus ranked game, Washington State doesn't hold on to a ranking for very long.
Mm-mm.
And I think Oregon State's the real damn deal.
Yeah, so does Brian.
Give me the Beavers.
Yeah, Brian thinks so too, and he's usually very right about that. So yeah, I'm taking the Beavers as well.
Yeah, give me the Beavers.
And guys in the chat, are we losing frames? I keep getting notifications on Streamlabs that we're losing frames and it's like stuttery, but I don't know why on earth that would be because there's nothing else like running. Can't figure that one out. Wi-Fi's fine.
Yeah, I'm back on my home Wi-Fi, so.
Yeah, it wouldn't be on your end, so I don't know what it is. Anyways, we'll keep going.
And then we've got. We'll do these. We have another note here. Hold on. We've got number 15 Ole Miss at number 13 Alabama.
Boy, what do you do with that?
Yeah, it's weird that Alabama is not in the top 5.
Yeah, right.
Obviously, they lost to Texas, and then they barely beat South Florida because they had quarterback problems, and it was raining, and there was weather delays and all types of stuff going on. But it's just shocking to see Alabama like. They don't really have an identity as a team right now. It
is bizarre, man. I can't really figure it out. I saw a clip of Coach Saban like walking back into the locker room, and he's just like he's drenched from the rain. His hair's all disheveled, and like they're tied with whoever it was last week at halftime. South Florida, and the caption was like, Coach Saban is fed up with this team, and he really just looked like completely defeated. I mean, he just like. It was the funniest clip. So, yeah, I don't know, man. Listen, this feels like the year to snipe some wins off of Alabama. Ole Miss has looked solid so far.
They still have Jackson Dart and Quinshon Judkins.
Well, right.
A bunch of good wide receivers.
Is this...
And you got one of the best offensive minds in college football in Lane Kiffin running that offense.
Well, right. So, all that aside, you just feel like Alabama at some point is going to get it back and figure. They're gonna wake up and figure it out. I like Bama in this one. I got a feeling that Ole Miss Ole Miss has enough in the tank to do this. They can win this game, but I just don't. You just don't. There's no way in hell you can just see Bama dropping a 2-2. You know, it doesn't feel like you're speaking English. It would be crazy. But
if you would have told me 5 years ago that in the same weekend there's a chance that Colorado could be 4-0. And Alabama would be 2-2, I would laugh you out the building. Right.
It's insane. But I'm taking Bama, but do not be surprised if I wouldn't be shocked at all if they lost this game.
I think this game is close. I'm going to go with Ole Miss. I just think Ole Miss has too much firepower.
Yeah.
And, Ole Miss is one of the teams that they've beaten Alabama in Tuscaloosa before.
Yeah, there's not a bad pick in this game. It's pretty it's going to be down to the wire.
Yeah.
Are they still rolling, Brian? We really don't know. And I appreciate you guys saying that the stream looks fine. I think whatever it was has resolved itself. So.
All right. And then we got the second biggest game of the weekend. College Game Day is going to be in town for this one. We got number 6, Ohio State, at number 9, Notre Dame.
Lord have mercy. There's so many good college games this weekend.
Yeah, there's a bunch. And the last one will be the biggest game of the weekend. I'm
not a believer in Notre Dame. I never am, never will be. Give me the Buckeyes. It's just that simple to me.
I'm not really a believer in the Buckeyes this year.
I'm not really a believer in either, but I'm especially not a believer in Notre Dame. I'm a Notre Dame hater by every definition. Lou Holtz thinks they're going to do well, but why wouldn't he? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, give me the Buckeyes. Unfortunately,
give me the Buckeyes on principle, just because.
On principle, I hope they both lose.
Yeah, if I'm not a Notre Dame. I'm neutral about Notre Dame, but there's part of me, growing up Catholic, you'd think I'd like them a little bit, but I'm just neutral about them. I'm
just salty because in the COVID year in 2020, they got in the playoff instead of us, and it should have been us because we were the better damn team. But whatever.
And Ohio State shouldn't have been in it at all because they didn't play enough games.
College football playoff, my ass. College football invitational is what it really is.
Brian, but anyways, it's like picking Joffrey around. Yeah, give me the Buckeyes.
Yeah.
I'm not a believer in either of these teams, but
100%.
I'll take the Buckeyes.
Fuck them both. Joffrey or Ramsey.
We get to
where the dream ends.
The biggest game of the weekend. We've got number 19 Colorado.
And by the way, it shouldn't be
Oregon.
And by the way, it shouldn't be. By the way, it isn't. This is to me, okay, so here's how I feel about this game. We got the Colorado Buffaloes. We got the Oregon Ducks, the Ducks of Oregon. This is not some team that how do I articulate my thoughts on this?
So
you start.
Colorado State was an absolute classic.
Yes.
If you had told me a couple years ago that I'd stay up till 1:30 in the morning on my birthday to watch Colorado and Colorado State
entertaining as hell.
Entertaining as hell.
Well, and think about the fourth quarter. I mean, there were parts of that game where it was like Colorado's going to lose this game. It was very obvious. Yeah. It was like they're down 11 in the fourth quarter, and there was a fumble, and then they get the ball back, but then they have to kick. I mean, it was every reason to sit here and go, yeah, they're absolutely going to lose this game. But sure enough,
but they bucked up and won it.
To give you guys an idea, go ahead.
What are the odds? What does ESPN have the odds at? Because I know they're probably highly favoring Oregon.
Oregon has a 93.9% chance to win.
I think they're 3 touchdown favorites. I think they're 21-point favorites.
And for what it's worth, last weekend, look at this graph of the percentages, how back and forth it was between Colorado State and Colorado.
I love looking at those graphs.
Oh, it's so much fun because you can see certain plays change it,
Yeah, you look at those graphs and you've seen one where it'll be a baseball game and there'll be a team that's up by 3 runs and it'll be the 9th inning and their thing will say 99% and the other team will hit a walk-off grand slam and then it'll go all the way back down to the other team.
That'll do it. And that's what happened right here. I mean, at one point in the fourth quarter, it was a 98% chance for Colorado State to win. And, one thing changes.
Football's a game of inches, baby.
It is. But make no mistake, Oregon is going to win this game handily this weekend. And I think a lot of people are saying that. I think this is where the dream dies. I think the real conversation is...
We'll say this, though. I think I'm with you. Oregon's going to win this game, and they're going to win this game big. I think Colorado's going to get their ass kicked. I'm not hopping off the Colorado Coach Prime bandwagon. I'm with this motherfucker.
Well, and that's what I was about to say is I think and we're acting like it's a foregone conclusion that they're going to lose. I'm sure to a lot of people it's not. I'm sure to them it's not. I'm sure to them.
Yeah, of course.
They're trying to channel.
I still believe in what Deion Sanders is doing.
But the bottom line is and that's the thing. That's the conversation. Moving forward, if they lose this game, does the bandwagon still exist? Can they recover from this? Because things don't get easier.
No. Some people are going to fall off of it, right?
Or do you become last year's Kansas, but with more smoke blowing around you?
That's probably what they're going to He said, "I'm just tired of hearing about this man and his son. We're all sick of it."
I'm happy for them, you know.
I am.
But at the
I
same
do love
time,
this thing though.
yeah.
The watch flex
Mm-hmm.
that Shador did against. He's got like everybody doing that shit now. I think it's like anything. It's anything that gets hype. The hype's going to reach a level, and then it's going to start to die off.
Yeah.
It's like it's going to stay good, and I think this is the weekend that happens.
Yeah, it might have peaked last weekend.
If Colorado somehow wins this game, I think they should be in the top 5, maybe the top 10.
The only reason I disagree with that is because you look at defensively, they're just not there, right? Like they look good against Nebraska, but who doesn't, right? Okay, you go back to week 1 against TCU. This wasn't the magical 2022 TCU that was led by Max Duggan and just completely walked over defenses all year and just put up a ton of points. This is like just the next man up. You know what I'm saying? Like this was not. They weren't playing that offense. They were just playing an offense. They were supposed to blow out Colorado State, especially after all the shit that was talking and everything. What the reason the Ducks are going to win this game is not just because they're a better team, but because they're not making things personal. Colorado State blew that game. If you watch closely, Colorado State blew that game in a lot of ways because shit got personal. It was all about taking cheap shots. It was all about. I'm sure you saw the play
that hit Travis Hunter.
I mean,
that's got ejected for that.
I agree. Really, and he got death threats, and I mean that's all. You know, that's too much. But the point is, yeah.
He was like, don't do that.
No, that's ridiculous. But the point is it's been emotional, and what you haven't noticed this week, and I'm sure you've probably noticed that you haven't noticed, is that there has been no like Oregon calling out Colorado State and making shit personal, just like I think has happened 2 or 3 times in the past couple of games. This is the team that is not going to take things personally. This is the team that's going to go in and do their job. They're going to beat the hell out of them, in my opinion. There is I think there's like a 5 or 10% chance that the Colorado truly is magical and they somehow win this game and like double overtime again.
I think they definitely have a slim chance to win.
But I just think that they're going to get. I think what happened with Colorado State, I think they were honestly matched with Colorado State, and Colorado State got too emotional and was completely out-talented that game. They're not going to be out-talented this weekend. They're not going to be out-emotional this weekend. They're just going to get beat.
Yeah.
It's just business. Exactly, right? It's just business. So.
Both Ducks by a lot.
Now, if the Colorado defense would actually be, if the Colorado defense would tighten up a little bit, we'd be having a different conversation because
I think also
Shamar's that good offensively, but
Shadur's great.
I mean, Shadur, yeah.
Their offensive line is bad because he's taking 55 hits.
Yeah, he took a lot of sacks. The talent and the heart is there, but the discipline and the size is not there to go the distance.
But just the story of this turnaround, taking a 1-11 team, coming in with a brand new head coach, bringing all these players from Jackson State and showing up to the first day, hey, I'm bringing my own luggage and it's Louis. I got guys coming to me, y'all need to get in the portal, right? And some of those guys toughed out. I was watching a couple interviews with some of the guys that stayed around. And number 87, who should have got the game ball against Colorado State because he was catching everything at the end of that game. He scored 2 touchdowns and a 2-point conversion. He stuck around. So this turnaround is great. I love this story, Brian. I know you're getting tired of hearing about it, but I love this story.
You hear about it. You'll hear about it a lot less after this weekend, though. I'm pretty damn sure. But nonetheless, still a good story.
Dion has made. He's taken a team that hadn't had a lot of fun in a long time, and they're having fun now.
Yes.
And what he's doing for college football is going to change.
And that's beautiful because they're getting a new stadium now. Things change. I mean, it's literally it's 100% the same shit that Johnny Manziel did for A&M. They never won a championship with him or anything, but the point is, that changed the culture there, and this is going to change the culture of Colorado. They're going to be a better team for years to come now. There's no doubt about 100%. That. But this year, this is where the story ends. But it's still going to keep going in other ways. Oh. So give me the Ducks. All I have to say.
Yeah. Well, let's rock some NFL real quick. In no particular order, we'll get this one out the way first because. Obviously NFL, anything can happen, but I think this was kind of a foregone conclusion. We got Cowboys at Cardinals.
Yeah. Cowboys should take care of business.
Yeah, Arizona's bad, but they almost beat the Giants last week, which tells you how bad the Giants are.
Yeah, that's a shame.
Also tells me the 49ers aren't as big as they could have been aren't as good as they were being projected to be because they got out to a very slow start against the Giants on Thursday Night Football last night.
They did, yeah.
They won the game 30-12, but like...
Well, but you could see Brock Purdy's getting a little too comfortable with certain throws, and that's kind of like, okay,
Wait till he plays a real defense.
Well, right. So, yeah, we'll see. That'll circle that one, obviously, but...
Cowboys by a lot, I think.
Yeah. I think this is going to be another game where they get out to an early lead and they just keep pounding. This is going to be another, 40.
But it's great to see Josh Dobbs getting a starting opportunity.
Yeah, for sure.
Because Josh Dobbs was a stud in college, and I think he could be a great quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
He's never going to be, one of the top 10 quarterbacks, obviously. But,
what happened to Kyler Murray? He's just out with a big injury.
He has a big injury.
Okay.
Going back to the people getting injured on Monday Night Football, Kyler's injury happened on Monday Night Football.
What's up, Steven? How you doing, brother? We just talking, my guy. What's next for Spencer? So we got the Cowboys. Both of us are unanimous.
We got Saints at Packers.
No, the Saints.
2-0 Saints was the 1-1 Packers.
The Saints.
Their Carr's got them boys looking good, man.
Yes, and they're running the ball well.
Definitely be a Saints fan. My uncle lives in New Orleans. I'm actually going to New Orleans this weekend.
Running the ball well. They are playing very solid defense. Mm-hmm.
And Jamal Williams just got injured too. So
yeah, I know. He's on my bench now. Pain.
Yeah, I love Jamal Williams though. He's great.
Yeah, I do too. But yeah, this should be an interesting game. Green Bay, as we all know, Jordan Love has been doing his thing. It's been fun to watch him sort of take the reins. Lost a close one to the Falcons. It was a weird game. The Falcons never really felt like they were doing anything, but they kept having the lead somehow. And then
Bijan Robinson is incredible, bro.
Yeah, he really is. He really is. I mean, some of the moves he's putting on. So you just gotta hope
his jersey. I might give you a Bijan jersey.
If he stays healthy and they keep playing sound football defensively, yeah, watch out for the damn old Falcons. But this should be a fun one, man. This is going to be in Green Bay. It's early enough to where the temperature is not really going to be a big factor. Who you got, man?
I think the Saints have a better defense, so give me the Saints. Not to discredit the Packers' defense, but I think the Saints' defense is a little bit better because they still have Marshawn Lattimore. They have Tyrann Mathieu. They have a great defensive line.
Yeah.
Give me Saints close.
Give me Packers close. I think just because Jordan Love is taking great care of the football and Derek Carr is kind of not. Both defenses are pretty solid. This should be a fun game. This is going to go down to the wire. But give me the Packers in a close one just because I think Jordan Love is a little bit more innovative offensively right now, and he's taking really good care of the ball. Hasn't thrown a pick. Derek Carr's already thrown 2, only 1 touchdown. I think they're going to do a lot more moving the ball.
I feel that. Isn't your mom a Packers fan?
She is, but she doesn't really watch anymore because she just emotionally can't. She just can't do football, and I'm like, I get it.
It's like that meme that I shared last year about somebody was watching college football and their friend watched the game with them that doesn't usually watch football. And their friend was like, I feel like I just had a heart attack. Or like I was in a car crash. And they were like, you have to do this come every week. And they're like, yes.
I don't know why. But yeah, you have to come down from that shit, man. It's too much.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Who we got next?
Next one, we got Falcons at Lions. Falcons 2-0.
Another sneaky NFC matchup.
Desmond Ritter's playing well. Also, we got to talk about the NFC South. Saints, Falcons, and Bucks are all 2-0.
Yes, the NFC South is. It feels like any second they're going to crack because
that's the worst division in football. But 3 of their teams are undefeated right now.
Can't explain that. It's early. We'll see how things pan out. When we're in week 8 or 9, we'll have a much better look at it. But for right now, yeah, it's kind of fun to think about. But yeah, no, this should be fun. Jared Goff has been playing really, really well. I mean, he has been playing very solid every week. The Falcons, again, they've
lost to the Seahawks for the Lions this past week.
A tough loss, but again, he's playing really well. Defensively, the Falcons are doing a lot right. I like Detroit in this game. I think they're going to figure it out. The Falcons, for some reason, they're running the ball well. They're playing defense fine. they just don't feel like they're doing a ton, but they're still kind of meandering around and hanging out and winning games. I get the feeling Detroit's going to be a little. We'll be able to move the ball. Give me the Lions, a close one.
Yeah. The Falcons are like LSU from a few years ago. Like when at the beginning of Ed Orgeron's tenure, you get 25 points a game and you have to apply them.
Yeah.
At the right spot. It's like that check is clearing for a cent at the end of every month.
Mm-hmm.
Give me the Lions too because they're going to be at home, but I won't be shocked if I will not be shocked if the Falcons win this one.
And plus, for what it's worth, that was a quality loss against Seattle last week. Seattle's good this year. Seattle has actually got a lot going right.
They got walloped by the Rams week 1, but
well, and I think the Rams are just kind of good too.
I think that division's just good, except for Arizona.
Yeah, so that's a close one.
Next, we got your wife's team, the Bills. Commanders 2-0. Sam Howell's looking kind of decent.
What the hell do you make of this one, right? It will be in Washington.
Bills at Commanders.
Yeah. So it's going to be there. You know, it felt like a completely different Bills team last week. I watched a lot of that game, and the difference is Josh Allen was just like taking what the defense gave him. He wasn't trying to force anything. I think that was a healthy loss again, week 1 against the Jets because it made him remember like, hey, I know I want to do a lot, but sometimes I just have to take what's there. And all the times he would check down last week, I mean, they were able to dink and dunk for like 7-8 yards. You know what I mean? And that's how you have these long drives that take up a lot of time and give your defense a rest. As long as they keep doing that, they're going to keep winning. And Washington just keeps backdooring themselves into wins, so this is tough. I got the Bills, but don't expect the Commanders to go away just because you're up early, because they probably will be up early, but Sam Howell's playing all right. We'll see what happens here, but give me the Bills in a close one.
You look at these two teams on paper, and you're like, don't even look at the records. Just look Bills at Commanders. Based on recent history, you look at this game on paper, and you're like, yeah, the Bills should win that game.
Right?
But then you look at the records, and you look at the way they've been kind of playing, and you could see how this would kind of go. So give me the Commanders.
Really?
Just based on vibes, to be honest with you.
Just the vibes are getting you a little bit?
I do think this game's close, though.
Yeah, I do too.
Very
and I mean, and that win against Denver last week felt so hollow after Russell Wilson makes that giant Hail Mary and then they can't finish the 2-point conversion. And plus they were down, Washington was down a lot that game. They beat Arizona.
Broncos, I don't know what happened to Russell Wilson, bro. Like, what switched in his head from where he went to being like a top 7 quarterback in the league to just
age? Not comfortable. I mean, you think about, I don't know. I
think Russell Wilson's problem is?
What's that?
I genuinely believe that Russell Wilson has social anxiety.
He might.
And he hasn't come out to say it, but like, I think he's got like a social, like stage fright kind of thing. Like,
Brad, I just read your thing about the guy betting on the Jets. Damn, that's painful. Having to watch that.
Can you imagine?
No, I can't.
Putting $20,000 on anybody to do anything.
Bro, I can't imagine putting that money on any purchase.
$20,000 just sitting around that you could be like, oh, I'm gonna bet on the Jets this week.
Or like Wentz. It's just Will. Hey man, that's fucked up. No man, I don't know. I can't imagine betting $20 on anything. You know what I mean? Like that doesn't even compute for me.
I'll spend $20 at a casino.
Sure.
Like
but not on any one thing. You're not gonna go to a roulette table and be like $20, boom, and that be one thing.
I'll stick $20 in a penny slot, but once that $20 is gone, I'm done.
Yeah, exactly. All right, man.
So whether I win or whether I lose.
Yeah.
So
what's our next
game,
one?
Monday Night Football. We got Eagles at Buccaneers, both 2-0. Eagles played the Super Bowl last year. Buccaneers coming off their first year without Tom Brady. They signed Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield's been playing well. Should be a good game.
To me, it's going to come down to who gets hurt because this is a game, like we've been saying, The Monday Night Football game is cursed. Who's going to get hurt? And of course, we're kind of halfway joking with that. Obviously, we hope no one gets hurt. And if nobody gets hurt, I think my pick is still going to be Tampa Bay here. There's something about this team. There's something about Baker Mayfield playing the way he's playing right now. The Eagles have been showing cracks. They're running the ball a lot more than they were throwing it.
Because we have more film on Jalen Hurts and defenses know how to scheme.
Well, and that is, and there's truth to that. Devontae Smith is not at 100%. Boston Scott's not at 100%. Obviously,
Swift's been running his ass off. Though.
He has. Tampa
also,
Bay.
that number 0 jersey looks so good. I'm glad they're letting players wear 0.
Yeah, I am too. But no, I don't know. I think this is a game that could go either way, as it usually is in the NFL. But I just got a feeling that Baker's got something. He's on a revenge tour, man. I'm picking Baker here, to be honest with you. That I'm more so than I am the Bucks. And I'm kind of also counting on Philly to keep showing those cracks they've been showing. So give me the Bucks in a close one. This would be a fun game to watch.
Taking the Bucks in this one.
To hell with Monday Night Raw. Turn this game on.
Yeah, I'm also going to take the Buccaneers. Obviously,
Oh, you're taking the Bucks too?
Good teams. Yeah, taking the Bucks. Both good teams, obviously. Brian says, Eagles, please blow them out so you can put Mariota in the fourth quarter. Eagles, please trade Marcus Mariota to somebody else so
yeah,
my good friend Brian can stop cheering for the Eagles.
Seriously.
I put a post up. I was just predicting. I was like, the other night when the Eagles played the Vikings, I was like, give me the Eagles close. And my mom was like, that's why it's raining. You're cheering for the Eagles. I was like, I'm not cheering for them. I'm just picking them to win.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, there's your games, folks. That's what's going to happen. Book it. Those weren't predictions. Those were spoilers.
What's that movie? I don't know if you've ever seen it. It's about sports betting. I don't remember the name of it. But the guy, like, he was, like, got into, like, the sports betting world, and he was giving all this great advice, and his bets kept hitting and kept hitting and kept hitting. And he shot up the ranks, and then he's, like, on TV, and he's doing all this type of stuff, and he's like, take this. And then all his picks start losing, and people start hating him because they're losing money and all this type of stuff. And then he just, like, has, like, this nervous breakdown. He's, like, sitting in the bathroom on the floor, and he was like writing all his picks, and he was like looking at the numbers, and he was like this, and this, and he was like,
I feel like I've seen this.
He was like, I guarantee that this team is going to beat this team. Lock it in. This isn't just a pick. This is a guarantee. I promise you this will happen. And then he has this big redemption story at the end, like climax of the movie. All his picks are right. People keep winning money. I can't remember the name of the movie though.
Was it Toy Story?
Let me see. Sports.
We got to get you on the road, buddy. Let's wrap it up. We'll let people Google it. Let's get you out of here.
Let's see. Hold on.
You still got that fucked up phone case that adds corners for some reason.
Yeah, it's weird. I love it though.
I don't know. It's so strange. So strange.
I don't know. I don't remember the name of it, but I remember watching that movie.
Like Toy Story 2. God damn it. Well, guys, thank you so much for joining us. Like the video, share the video, subscribe. We'll see you next week. Enjoy the games this weekend. And, take care of yourselves. Spencer, drive safe, my boy. And we will see you in the next one.
When I get to my mother's.
Hell to the yeah. All right, y'all be good. We're out of here.
Yes, sir.